before.
Let's talk about The Matrix. All right.
Okay.
So
let's talk about that.
The Matrix is indeed its own movie, right?
Absolutely.
And then there was the sequel that was Matrix Reloaded.
Which is beautiful.
And then we had Matrix Revolutions,
which is awesome. It was understanding. Go ahead.
All right, so
I'm
gonna put it to you like this. So the very first Matrix, we're not gonna talk about. That's cinema. That's a classic.
Yeah.
As far as visual wise, the stop motion, it laid the foreground for all of the action movies. That
Neo realized he was
moved
the
the
one.
needle. That like that also
Yeah.
revamped Keanu Reeves instead of being the whoa. Dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As far as we knew Keanu Reeves,
he was Bill and Ted.
Yeah, he was Bill and Ted. That's all we knew him as.
Yeah, absolutely.
This made him a certified badass,
Right.
and then made him catapult into one of the most dangerous men
John
that
Wick.
we love to see in any
John
movie.
Wick.
So
Yes, sir.
this movie is pivotal.
Right.
The second one, they then upped the storyline a little bit better. I love the multiple Smiths.
Yes.
And the fact that he
beautiful.
was out of it and then he joined it.
Yes.
Then the cliffhanger they left at the end, where it was like the only person that was just as similar to you and that can jump into the Matrix the way that you are was this person we just randomly found.
Absolutely.
Come to find out, it was the Smith that
Beautiful.
jumped into it. Right.
Loved it.
Now the crash and burn happens.
Go ahead. Yes.
In Revolution.
Yes, sir.
Like it happens in that because they have to talk about so many things.
Of course.
Or try to compile it all or make it all a trilogy.
To make it make
and
sense.
from what I'm understanding, Reloaded and Resolutions was basically recorded at the same time. So they just split it into two.
Absolutely.
But if I gotta be honest here,
Talk to me.
you could have shaved a lot of that stuff from Revolutions.
What would you have shaved?
Of course, the train scene. I really didn't care about the daughter, Seti.
Really?
I didn't care about the daughter. I didn't really care about the daughter. Like,
You know how she ties into all this, though, right?
it's because she's supposed to be the new age or the new step into the new Matrix,
The
right?
new Oracle.
The new Oracle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds fine.
Beautiful.
But it doesn't make any sense as where did the old Oracle go? We never see her because we see her at the end going,
Right.
but we see her talking to the architect.
Absolutely.
So we don't see Seti as the new Oracle. Like that doesn't give us any streamline towards it. The train situation, totally pointless.
The timekeeper.
The timekeeper,
Yeah.
totally pointless.
Yeah, 30 watches on one arm.
Why?
He was telling time from different avenues and different aspects.
But I felt like the Matrix gave us a world and we wanted to know more about the world, and they gave us more in Reloaded.
Absolutely.
Then they gave us too much information in Resolutions. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the conversation between Neo and the architect to this day does not make any sense to me.
What?
It does not make any sense to me.
What?
Listen, you know who the boys sound like? The architect sound like? Boys sound like in the beginning of Law and Order when he got to give you the premise. These are everyone's stories, and everyone's stories is in different settings, and these are everyone's situations.
Right.
It's like we made the anomaly. Like I'm like, yo, I gotta watch.
But it sucks you in though,
I gotta
because
watch.
if you watch Law and Order and you hear that guy in this day, you're like this.
Yeah.
You know who he reminds you of? He reminds you of Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake the Snake did not yell. He didn't scream.
Yeah.
He spoke to you. He talked to you. He looked at you and said he dragged you in. And when he had a conversation and when he had in depth, the camera was like this.
I mean, but the architect didn't give me that. I thought this was the main reason why the Matrix exists, and I'm thinking we're about to get a full explanation. Instead, we just get a lot of talking about. There were more than one of you. There's
Absolutely.
Look at the screen behind me.
Yes.
It's different versions of how you came here and saw me with that.
Yes,
and they all have the
absolutely.
same reaction. It was cool.
Yeah.
It
makes sense.
explained it. It didn't give me
It
the
tied
bow.
it in.
It didn't tie the bow into. It didn't tie the knot into a complete bow. Today's episode is brought to you by Hauler's Haven, revolutionizing the truck driver's experience at every stop. Make sure you follow the website at haulershaven.com and follow on all social media platforms. And make sure you use that hashtag Safe Stops Ahead. Then we
Tried to
wait.
go into a knot.
No, it literally made it a worse knot because then they made another knot on top of it by calling it Matrix Resurrection.
Oh, that was beautiful. You ain't like that one. That was for today's time. Neo went along and became the person that's in the real world. He's going to be a worker. And how many people can resonate to that to this day? I'm going to be a regular worker. I'm not going to be an entrepreneur. I'm not going to reach my higher heights. I'm just going to go ahead and punch a clock. I'm going to get paid every Friday. I'm going to get a week's worth of vacation, and I'm going to work a whole year to get a week's worth of vacation. That's what happened to Neo. And then when he had to be reminded of who he was, that little girl called Rabbit, the same rabbit he had to follow in part 1. The white rabbit. You remember that? Before he got the pill?
The tattoo that was just on a random girl's back?
Absolutely.
But actually, Trinity
only he knew.
Trinity was supposed to be the white rabbit. So there's your conflict right there.
Hold on a minute now. Hold on a minute now. Trinity came later on, and then to add insult. Wait, hold on.
He met her in the club.
He met her in the wait. You talking about the last one or the first one?
In the first one, Neo met.
I'm talking about the last one.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about the last one.
Oh, my bad. They rebooted it, right?
Yeah. They sure did. And that was a good boot. That was a good size fit all boot.
It was an Aldo boot.
Man,
but that's fine.
And then the message behind it, the fact that Neo realized who he was when he remembered who he was and he realized he wasn't a game designer, you remember when he chopped that door handle? He had to remember who he was. Wait a minute. I don't have to keep his. He chopped it. He chopped it and remembered who he was. And the fact that when he found the love of his life, when he found his other half, when he found his beginning and his end, you seen the implosion? When she had to realize, wait a minute, this ain't my family. Hold on a minute. These ain't my kids. I never liked that name anyway. And she grabbed that man's hand and you see the implosion?
Made that woman leave her whole family. Because
the new architect put her in a position to think that the deception.
There was so many things.
The deception. She made him think. He made her think that was his family. When Neo all along was who she needed. That was the backbone. That was Eve's Adam.
What about Morpheus?
What about him?
The original Morpheus. Impactful.
Absolutely.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes.
Some Coke bottle glasses.
Absolutely. He
explains to us in the Matrix that literally all of these machines literally want to turn us into this with battery.
Absolutely.
They're using us as an energy. They gave us all of that.
Talk to me.
Who the fuck was that in Resurrections?
Okay, so
who was that?
You do remember that unfortunately Morpheus died, right? The real Morpheus died. There was a statue of him. You know, that broke Jada Pinkett's heart when she was walking past and showing Neo the solitude and the statue of Morpheus. So then we had to come up with a configuration of Morpheus with the new machines.
So you're going to give us this, and you're going to give us the machine version. Whom of which he was against in the first place?
Who else you going to give him?
No. You could have just not casted Morpheus. You could have just said he was dead.
Why?
You could have just.
Why? They did. And the fact that his soul lived on.
And maybe
I'll give it to you like this. Is anybody going to forget about Bob Marley?
No.
Why?
Because of the impact that he's made on the culture himself, and his music is going to live forever, and his words is going to live forever. They never said, "Hey Ziggy, hey Damien, can you dress up like your dad and sing all of the songs your dad does?" No.
Well, no, because that's his children, and they're reliving his legacy because they're talking about shots.
Not asking him to. They're not.
They asked
this black man, "Hey, we need you to be somebody who we held in high regard and high reverence." But I want you to shit on everything that he's done because you are absolutely mischievous.
And you're talking about another world that he was an agent first. Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's even worse. It's just too many conflictions that they made with Resurrections.
I loved it. But I'm gonna let you finish your point.
Okay. Well, then maybe we might be in the middle of that one day because I was not a big fan of that reboot. It was terrible. They did too many callbacks. It was beautiful. The Merovingian callback.
It was beautiful. You didn't like the fact that his wife Trinity. Had the ability to fly
and
amongst.
Now Trinity got powers.
Isn't that beautiful?
No.
And you know that happened after she linked with her husband.
No.
She linked with her better half.
Trash.
Beautiful.
They just said, you know what? Trinity can do this now. Well, why? Because we can.
Because she's seen the love of her life.
Because she saw the love of her life,
and she grabbed his hand.
Let's move on.
And then
let's move on. What we talk about here? Because that one was not my favorite one. Do you have give me another classic reboot?